And we are back, folks, with Ethan Castro of Edge Sound Research. I was here yesterday. I got to experience this. I'm an audio engineer myself. I love surround sound technology. I love transduction technology, but this is beyond both of those. Explain to us exactly what Edge Sound Research is all about and what this amazing product is.
Yeah, I'm glad you have the experience. It's becoming a more and more increasingly apparent art, and I'm so happy. Edge Sound Research is kind of a way to explore what's possible with sound. Sound's such a weird, interesting sense that can actually do so much, and so much of it is sound, but it's not usable, and some of it is sound and usable, and some of it isn't, and it's so much all over the place. And so I'm so excited to do my PhD in music, but actually in sound, sound studies. And the Edge Sound Research tries to look at all the different ways and all the different possibilities out there and see what we can do to push the boundaries. If we're going to make a soundbar, we'll make the best soundbar and research all the technologies that go into making a soundbar and push it to the limit. We're going to find transduction technologies and find the very edge of it and push it to the limits and innovate every step of the way. So that's kind of what we do in a nutshell.
Yeah. Now, the technology that you're using and leveraging here is different than your average speaker technology. It's not necessarily moving cone, moving diaphragm, traditional magnet coil action.
Right, yeah, and it's actually interesting because if you really break down, first you have to break down what sound is. It's all vibrations.
Sure.
So when you go into the realm of voice coils and all sorts of actuators, they're all just moving back and forth at a certain rate. And so if you can leverage all those different types of actuation technologies and kind of put them together and refine them, you can then get that ultimate thing that we've all been craving for, which is a perfectly linear, flat response from near zero to ultrasonic and above. And so that's a beautiful thing with exploring all different sorts of transducers. We can do big actuators for 1 to 10 hertz, and then do these big triggers for 10 to 100 or 200, and then all sorts of different sizes of exciters and other voice coil technologies all the way up until piezoelectric ultrasonics. Yeah.
Now, is this fully proprietary? Is this a system that you integrate into your existing furniture that you put onto your wall, your bookshelf? How exactly does it work? Without getting into the proprietary details.
Patented technology.
That's right.
But we put it all together in one unit to make it easy for people, right? Because feeling sound is not something that's an easy to understand concept for the majority of people. And so we're trying to package it in such a way that it's a familiar sensation. It's still audible sensation, still tuned for audible modality, but just to be able to present the tactile modality in one sensation from as far as we can from the frequency range in kind of one package. So right now we're building the hardware, doing the whole vertical integration with the software and the hardware, and so that's what we're kind of having out so that people can help us refine and be able to help us understand all the different possible use cases and help us make this a very viable next generation of audio format.
Absolutely, especially whenever you're talking about mastering engineers, recording engineers, things like that. We're always looking for better speaker technology, new speaker technology, anything you can do with the fewest moving parts possible without coils that can blow, magnets that can start, just attracting weird things.
Or even worse, the room. I've had to move my studio 5 times, and it's like $10,000, $20,000 to do acoustic treatment. I'm like, oh my God. And you have to, because there's so many limitations with pushing air into
exactly.
Not to say that's bad or wrong.
No.
I think it's great technology.
We're pushing air right now.
That's right. But then there's something I realized in my research. I was like, wait, you're pushing air, but I also can feel you. As a matter of fact, if it wasn't for the fact that I can feel you, I would have no idea what you're saying, because I'm hard of hearing, and there's no way for me to understand what's happening if it's just through the air. So early on, when I was trying to do all my mastering and mixing, I would touch my drivers and be like, okay, this is a direct couple to my signal source. So it doesn't matter that I hear reflections behind me. It doesn't matter I have reflections in my room. It's literally directly coupled into my body. And so it didn't matter if I was mixing on an airplane, on a bus, or in a room, or a $100,000 mastering suite, or whatever. I always knew what it was, regardless of my situation.
Yeah, precisely. Now, with traditional transduction, traditional transducers, you have to work so hard to excite a surface. And the problem is really finding that sweet spot and not passing it up or not coming in just underneath it and I've played around with it a lot. I do a lot of electronic music, a lot of meditation music, things like pure tone frequency therapy, stuff like that. So I love the idea of transduction. I use bone transducing headphones. And they have changed my world to not have something shoved in my ear. this is a totally different experience as opposed to a lot of, because of course subwoofer is not directional, mids and highs are.
Right.
This is a completely immersive experience. It's not like a typical surround sound where it's like, ooh, I hear that in the left speaker.
Yeah, exactly.
Right there.
Yeah. Well, and it's actually interesting. The way we've implemented it here is one of the ways of doing it, which is more chaotic and embodiment, kind of more akin to like the DMLs that planar speakers and stuff that are a much wider sweet spot.
And much more natural. Much more natural.
Yes. That's a weird thing that I can't imagine a whole orchestra fitting in a tweeter and a woofer.
Yeah, exactly.
And so having a little bit of a larger body helps the naturally larger wave lengths be able to emanate naturally.
Wow.
And the shorter ones emanate naturally as well. Like you said, there's issues always with different materials and different ways to be able to avoid frequency resonant peaks and getting the right sweet spot there.
Yeah.
And thankfully, materials when you excite them are pretty forgiving on getting that right sweet spot, and it's a much wider approach.
Yeah. Now, how long have you been working on this technology? When will it be available to the public?
Yeah.
Is it already available to the public? And if so, what price point are you looking at?
For sure. So first, we've only been around for about 2 years. We pitched it at CES 2 years ago, and people said, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, whatever. I was like, I don't believe me either. That's fine. But it sometimes takes somebody who sees things a little differently to figure out the little elements and be able to bring them forth. And so, I think we have a great team, and together they blend all their specialties and capabilities to help bring this to life. And the fact that we had something to even show at CES this year is fantastic. And first and foremost, we're always looking for help, right? I'm a researcher by nature, and so I want to make sure that I can get data from people to help me.
Yeah.
I know it can be useful. It's helped me for sure. And I know that it can be helpful for other people too. It's adding a whole new sense. It's adding a whole new modality. It gives an unrivaled sense of accuracy. And I know that my audio engineer brethren need this. And so we're only allowing audio engineers and very top-end performance gamers to even apply for an alpha program. What we're doing. So we're hand-making these things right now. And so all you do is you just put $1 down, just be committed.
Yeah.
And then you can grab it for, I think, at least 30 days and at least try it out.
Yeah.
Test it out.
Give you
try
a
to break
review.
it.
Give you some feedback.
Help us build it. Help us build this next generation of audio. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised on what it is. And
I will definitely be joining that alpha program
please.
myself, because this is phenomenal. I've been shopping and shopping and shopping for a new pair of monitors for my studio.
Yeah.
It's just one of those most of them just
I mean, unless you go to like the hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, exactly. Until you start getting into like crazy, let me spend $4,000 on 2 speakers.
Right. For each.
But I know a few engineers and mastering engineers that I will definitely turn on to this, because this is game changing.
Yeah.
This is a totally new way to engineer audio and to enjoy audio. So thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
For all the time that you spent putting into this amazing product. Ethan, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you everybody for today and for always tuning in. Until next time, we'll talk to you soon. That's it from the CES Expo floor for day 2 coverage of CES 22. We'll see you soon. Go by, check out TalkingSoundShow.com, TalkingSoundPodcast.com for all the episodes. Make sure to stop on by the HD Universal Network for more great content and for more coverage of CES 2022. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.